check, 1, sound check, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, check, check, sound check, 1, 2, check, check, sound, 1, 2, check, 1, sound check, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, check. Hey, check, check, sound. 1, 2, check. Hey, check, 1, sound, check, 1, 2, 1, check, sound, check, 1.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Senate. Chairman Tolentino will be down in a few minutes. So if we can ask everybody to take their seats. Thank you very much. And welcome to our guests.
General ba to? Wala pa? Hindi na yan. Ay, sir. Morning. Morning, General Ilyasar. Magandang umaga po, ladies and gentlemen. The committee is called to order. You received an invitation and the committee would like to thank you for acceding to the invitation. This is the organizational meeting. I'd like to inform the resource persons here that pursuant to a July 23, that was last week, elections conducted by the plenary, yours truly was elected as chairman of the Committee on Local Government, with Senator Amy Marcos as the vice chair. The members coming from the majority are the following: Senators Amy Marcos, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Bongo, Senator Revilla, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Nancy Binay, Senator Cynthia Villar, Senator Lacson, Senator Villanueva, Senator Pimentel, and from the minority, Senators Pangilinan and Hontiveros. This committee will be guided by Rule 5 of the Senate rules, similar to the rules applied during the 16th and 17th Congress. For an update, I'd like to inform the body that we are very grateful for the help given by the DILG during the last Congress and all other national government agencies present here. I forgot to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bato, DOF, and then the newly created Department of Human Settlements and Housing. Tama ba yun? Tama ba yung ano nyo? DSUD. MMDA. We're waiting for COMELEC. We're waiting for a DBM. COMELEC, wala ba kayong upuan dito? You should be acknowledged. Who else is represented here? Secretary. Can you acknowledge, Secretary? Yes, sir.
Morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning to our guests of the Senate today. To start with, we have the Secretary of the Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG, Secretary Eduardo M. Año. We also have NCRPO Police Major General Guillermo Lorenzo Eleazar. Morning, sir. The National President of the League of Provinces of the Philippines, Governor Presbitero Velasco Jr. We have the Chairman of the Metro Manila Development Authority, Brigadier General Danilo Lim. We also have the General Manager of the MMDA, Yusek Jose Arturo Garcia, together with Attorney Crisanto S. Saruca Jr. Together with Secretary Año, we have Yusek Rico Judge Echeverry, also of DILG, and then the Director of the Department of Social Housing and Urban Development, Attorney Angelito T. Aguila. From the Department of Finance, we have Attorney Nino Raymond Albina. And lastly, from the COMELEC, we have Teofisto Elnas Jr. of the Election and Barangay Affairs Department, Mr. Chair.
Secretary, noong nakaraang kongreso po, ang daming naipasang batas sa pamamagitan ng inyong pakikisa at ng committee ito. Halimbawa po, we have the Seal of Good Local Governance Law, RA 11292. We'd like to thank the ILG for that, Secretary Año. Ito po ay naipasa at napirmahan ng ating Pangulo April 12, 2019. We have the Bangsamoro Organic Law, which this committee will hear next week, Republic Act 11054. And we have the postponement of the barangay and SK elections, among other legislations initiated by this committee. So we'd like to thank Senator Sani Angara, my predecessor, Senator Bongbong Marcos, likewise, during the 16th Congress. Napakarami pong mga batas na inaipasa, lalong-lalo na yung pag-create ng mga bagong legislative districts sa Cebu, sa Mandaue, Isabela, sa Cavite, conversion ng LGUs, Batangas, Santo Tomas was converted into a lone legislative district, at napakarami pa hong iba, makapal ito. For this Congress, for this 18th Congress, we have several bills and measures, legislative measures pending before the committee. At kayo rin po yung makakausap namin. Kaya nagpapasalamat kami ganitong kaaga, pinagbigyan nyo kami. Kayo rin yung makakaharap namin. Halimbawa po itong batas na naman sa pagpopostpone ng barangay elections, yung proposal ko sa waste to energy, yung incineration, kung incineration ang tawag nila, at yung napakaraming proposals patungkol sa paghahati ng mga lalawigan at lungsod, at marami hong pending ngayon na final, yung Magna Carta for Barangays, final ni Senator Angara, Regularization of Barangay Officials Act of 2019, filed by Senator Binay, Magna Carta for Barangays, again, filed by Senator Pimentel, retirement benefits for barangay officials, etc., etc., the appointment of a permanent disaster risk officer for every LGU na requirements sa Seal of Good Governance, at marami pa hong iba. So, within the next few weeks, you will be receiving from the Secretariat copies of the proposed bills, resolutions for you to comment. Kahit wala pa hong, ito yung ibay natin, kahit wala pa hong consideration sa committee, uunahin na namin yung inyong comment. At darating din naman po doon. Napakarami pa ho. Ang inaasahan ko po dito, itong committee ito, ang pinakamaraming tatanggapin na panukalang batas buhat sa iba't ibang senador, at bukod pa doon yung bills of local application na nanggagaling sa lower house. And of course, this committee will be guiding you during the budget process come September. So matagal po tayong magkakaharap po dito, 3 taon ho ito, and with the assistance of Senator Bato de la Rosa and the other members of the committee, we expect a very productive 18th Congress, so to speak, including for the MMDA and other proposed legislative similar to MMDA, yung sa Cebu, meron din pong proposal na ganon, and Zambales. So, having said that, I'd like again to thank you for being present here. We will have a short briefing coming from the DILG. Thereafter, Senator De La Rosa will be asking some questions. At kung may dumating si Vice Chair Amy Marcos, ganun din po. Before we segue to a pressing issue of the day, which this committee motu proprio took cognizance of. Ano po ito? Ito po yung clearing operations na isinasagawa. Si Mayor Isko Moreno will be arriving before 9, kasama po sa magpapaliwanag nito. We hope to be clarified by the DILG, the MMDA, concerning some relevant protocols being issued and followed coming from the SONA statement of the President, and to be clarified as to its implementation sa Metro Manila lang ba o sa buong Pilipinas. So I invited likewise the resource person coming from, wala na si General Del Rosario, no? The Department of ano bang pangalan niyo ulit? Human Settlements and Urban Development, because apparently I stumbled upon this yesterday, that there is now a law. And I will be asking Department of Urban Human Settlements if you have issued the necessary guidelines for this. There is now a law allowing that newly created department to open private subdivision roads. Clearance will be emanating from your end. So yun yung liliwanagin natin mamaya to guide MMDA, to guide the Philippine National Police, to guide other LGUs insofar as alleviating traffic concerns. So I think si Governor Velasco would be issuing a short statement kasi paalis ka ata. Sir, uunahin na kita. Insofar as the Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines is concerned, We expect a lot from you, especially itong postponement ng barangay elections which will be heard next week. Thank you, sir. You have the floor.
Good morning to Chairman Francis Tolentino and Senator Ronald De La Rosa, as well as Secretary Eduardo Año of the ILG, MMDA Chairman Danilo Lim, General Guillermo Ilyasar, and other officials in the government. Good morning to all of you. On behalf of the League of Provinces of the Philippines, as National President thereof, I would like to bring to the attention of the Honorable Committee our position on the amendment of Section 284 of the Local Government Code 7160. The background on this is the Supreme Court decision amending the Section 284 of the Local Government Code, whereby the phrase internal revenue was deleted, and it was left in its place. It is now interpreted to mean national taxes. So there are two cases filed on that matter. One is the case of Mandanas versus Ochoa, and the other one is the case of Enrique Garcia versus Ochoa. And in the two consolidated decisions, the Supreme Court decided that the basis for the IRA, or the internal revenue allotment, should not only be the internal revenue taxes covered by the National Internal Revenue Code, but it should also include all national taxes. And per our computation, the decisions have already lapsed into finality. So it's our position that the increase in the IRA should already be made effective this July 2019. Now, the proposal of the League of Provinces of the Philippines is to increase the share of the local government units from the existing 40% under Section 284 of Republic Act 7160 of the Local Government Code to 50%. Now, the basis for this is that even the Bayanihan draft constitution proposes that the share of the federated regions should be increased to 50%. Now, in line with the policy of underlying the passage of the local government code, the additional financial resources will be a big factor in making the provinces, especially the low-rank provinces, to become more progressive. As we all know, many provinces, especially the 6th, the 5th, the 4th class provinces, are having financial difficulties in meeting its obligations, funding its projects, and undertaking other programs and activities that will eventually lead to progressive development. So we feel that while Section 284 provides 40% of the national taxes now, we submit that it should be increased to 50% of the national taxes collected by the government. Anyway, if there is really a plan to move forward to a federal form of government, if we provide more funds to the local government units, then probably it is a preparatory step towards a federal form of government, because it's quite important that the provinces should be financially stable before they become federated into regions. And this, I believe, may be a good step towards that goal of possibly coming up with a federal form of government in the future. So it is our request that Section 284 of the Local Government Code be amended to increase the allotment of the local government units from 40% to 50%. Now, another proposal of the League of Provinces or the Governors League is that we amend the NIRC, Mr. Chairman and Senator Bato, so that the situs of the taxation of the BIR should be amended because right now, if a company has its main office in Metro Manila, then it gets a big share of 30%, while 70% is left to the LGU. And we propose that this sharing be amended so that it will now be 10% only for the LGU, which where the principal office of the company is located, while 90% should be left with the LGU where this company is having its business operations. Okay? And now, likewise, we are requesting that prior consultation and prior approval of the LGUs should be given full meaning and effect before implementation of projects and programs of the national government. Because it is the experience of some of the LGUs that national projects and programs are implemented without really taking into consideration their proposals as to how it should be implemented. So considering that the LGUs are the ones who actually know the situation on the ground, and they are quite familiar with their territory and the people and the activities occurring therein, it's most important that their recommendation should be given much weight and merit, no? Likewise, we propose that the province should be given a share in the real property tax in the component cities. Therefore, we propose the amendment of Section 271 of RA 7160 because right now, the provincial government is not given any share in the real property taxes in component cities. Okay. Now, I'm sorry that MMDA chairman is right beside me, but this is the position of the previous board, National Executive Board of the League of Provinces, and and the LPP, the governors are proposing that the IRA given to MMDA in the amount of 458 billion pesos should already be deleted. And we found this to be not entirely anchored on the Constitution because there's a DOJ opinion, Mr. Chairman and Senator Bato, DOJ opinion number 70 series of 1992, where it was stated there that the MMDA is not a local government unit but an agency of the national government. And therefore, there is no basis as to why the agency should still get 458 billion pesos every year. That is really... I'm sorry. Millions, yeah. Sorry, million. So that's one of the proposals, Mr. Chairman and Senator Bato. Now, for other matters, the LPP is of the belief that there should really be a genuine and meaningful local autonomy on the part of the local government units. And considering that the thrust of the movement towards a federal form of government is to provide more governmental powers to the LGUs, we propose, the LPP will be coming up with a position paper where it is believed that even by mere passage of laws, powers now being exercised by the national government agencies can already be devolved to local government units so that they will have all the powers, authorities, and resources, no, to make their own territories or LGUs progressive. So I follow up on this by saying that this may just again be a preliminary step towards federalism. If we make the LGUs progressive and very stable in their operations and activities, then we are preparing the provinces towards the federation later on of the several provinces into region. That's why we should give more meaning and effect to the local government codes policy that the LGU should have more genuine and meaningful autonomy to be granted by the national government, because the chairman of the committee on amendments, former Chief Justice Puno, stated that 80% of the powers are concentrated in the national government. If the national government will only devolve some of the more important functions to the local governments, then we will have all the powers and authority to really do the projects and programs and activities that we feel are needed for the development of the respective territories of the LGUs, Mr. Chairman and Senator Bato. So that will be our brief position for the moment, and we reserve our right to submit more specific proposals for amendments of certain laws, Mr. Chairman.
Justice Velasco, I stand corrected. I thought you were representing ULAP, but apparently yung ULAP wala pang elections, ano?
Wala pa po,
So
Mr. Chairman.
you're representing the League of Provinces of the Philippines. As a quick rejoinder coming from the chair, the presence here of DOF, are you representing BLGF? No. BLGF. So siguro mamaya or by next week, I'm requiring you to submit a position paper relative to the Mandanas Supreme Court decision. And then probably you have taken notes and you can reply directly to the concerns of our good governor from Marinduque as regards the 40% to 50% increase. But I understand, Justice Velasco, that there is now a pending bill filed by the Vice Chair of this committee, Senator Amy Marcos, amending the National Internal Revenue Code to increase the amount being generated by the LGUs to 50%. Yun binanggit niyo po. And there is also another bill to increase the share from 45% in tranches to 50% and then to 60% gradually. So perhaps we're waiting for the arrival of Senator Amy Marcos. Mamaya mabibigyan kayo ng kopya. As to the concern of the good governor from Marinduque, yung linkages with the national government agencies, the Department of Housing, kahapon, I required them to submit within 180 days hanggang November a list of the total inventory of available public lands for public housing purposes. Perhaps you can touch base with the League of Provinces of the Philippines. Mas alam nila yon. Tungkol po doon sa mga cities, I happen to be a past president of the League of Cities of the Philippines. Baka po hindi pumayag yung mga cities natin na magbigay ng corresponding real estate tax share to the province, considering that more functions, alam po ni Secretary Anyo, are devolved to the cities than to municipalities. But I would suggest during an ULAP meeting that you talk with the LCP head, si Mayor Leonardia of Bacolod. As to the concern of the era for MMDA, I also happen to be a former MMDA chairman. There is a law. There is a law recognizing the MMDA as a special administrative region. For historical purposes, dati po kasi ang Metro Manila, yung head is a governor. They tried to consolidate all the functions nung wala pang local government code. Kaya nabigyan ito ng IRA, similar to the treatment of Bangsamoro, special administrative entity, at kung mangyayari po yung Cordillera, ganun din po yung treatment. So, siguro yung batas will be explained, just a quick rejoinder before we go on to the other resource persons, GM Garcia.
Good morning, sir. The DOJ opinion that MD is not entitled to erase dated 1992, sir, no? But RA number 7924, dated 1995, the MMDA Charter, states that MMDA shall continue to receive IRA, no? Currently allocated to Metro Manila Authority, Section 10, RA number 7924 po. So, 1995 po yung sa batas po.
Well, if there is a law, then that is precisely the proposal of the Governors League or the League of Provinces to re-examine the law and hopefully amend it. Because the way I look at it, there may be a duplication of the era given to MMDA in addition to the era given to the local government units under the MMDA. So we really have to look into this because there can be no allocation of funds for the same purpose. Okay, so I still maintain our position that no offense meant to my friend MMDA chairman, but we feel that the local government units in the MMDA already received their respective eras, or probably they now call it ENTA or NATA, no, National Tax Allotment, and that will be a duplication already of the public funds given to the agency. So we will just submit a position paper on this, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, we respect your position, Justice. MMDA?
Yes, sir. Sir, ano lang po, no? The era that we received from the LGU is yung era na nila. So, 5% nun, binibigay sa amin. So, there's no duplication, sir. No? Kumbaga, naka-budget na sa LGU yan, yung era nila,
It's
naka-allocate
a contribution.
Yes, sir. And then they just contribute 5% no, of their income, papunta po sa amin. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nyo naman siguro kukunin yung plate number ni Justice, ha?
Hindi.
Papunta pang Quezon City, ha?
Hindi, sir. Wala po.
So we
Thank
go to the General Lim, something to say. We go to the DILG, a brief presentation. Ready na ba sila? Kabisado naman natin lahat ng functions ng DILG. If there is a...
I have to attend our National Executive Board meeting at Manila Hotel. Thank you,
Granted to
Mr.
the
Chairman
good
and
justice.
Senator Bato.
Salamat, sir. Salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tarianyo?
Good morning, Senator Francis Tolentino, the Chairman, Committee on Local Government, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Good morning, my fellow public servants. We will cut short the briefing kasi we have an introduction about the function of the DILG, so we will go direct to the point now on our legislative agenda. Siguro mag-start tayo sa... Slide number. Slide number 8. Mr. Senators, we believe that in fulfilling effectively the mandate of the DILG and respond to the President's directive, all the things we need should be supported by legislative measures as follows. To be more effective in handling domestic security threats, we seek for the enactment of the transformation of the DILG to the Department of Local Government and Homeland Security. an amendment to the Human Security Act, and creation of the Anti-Terrorism Commission. To streamline and harmonize the operation of local jails, and considering that many provincial governments do not have the competency to manage provincial jails, we propose the transfer of the latter to the BJMP. We also want the enactment on the law on Anti-Drug Abuse Council to institutionalize our fight against drugs. And also we support the passing of the ROTC bill. To improve and sustain the peace and order situation in the country, it is necessary to enhance the capacity of peace and order and public safety institutions. That's why we move for the modernization and reorganization of the Philippine National Police and the agency's disciplinary mechanism to hasten the removal of bad acts and undesirables from the ranks of our law enforcers. We also push for the upgrading of PNP ranks. We mean that is to equate the PNP ranks to that of their counterpart, the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Just like for an example, in the region, the Army Division Commander is a 2-star rank, while the PNP Regional Office directors have only 1-star rank. We also look forward to the upgrading of the rank of the head of the Bureau of Fire Protection from 2-star to 4-star to be at par also with his counterpart in the AAP and the PNP, and the modernization of the Bureau of Fire Protection. On the other hand, to sustain our efforts on anti-corruption and improve the LGU performance, we hope that our move to amend the local government code will be given priority, as this will push for the local governance reforms on public finance management and creation of mandatory positions in the local government units. We also believe that the establishment of internal audit office in LGUs is one way of deterring corruption, hence this proposal. In order to sustain our initiatives on local roads management, we move for the institutionalization of this effort, as roads and bridges are critical to improve connectivity for local development. Moreover, as part of our effort to hold local officials accountable, we hope that this committee can support or look into the possibility of amending the Omnibus Election Code, which prevent local officials who have been ordered dismissed by the courts from running in the election unless their convictions have been reversed by the courts, by the higher courts. And to support the President's SONA directives last month, we seek for the enactment of legislative measures that will clear the roads and free up spaces from illegally parked vehicles. And of course, all the pending bills that you have enumerated, Mr. Chairman, we shall be providing our input on those bills. But we support all those bills that you have enumerated a while ago. At this point, Mr. Senator, we assure you our all-out support for your committee, especially on proposal that will improve local governance and accountability of local officials. The DILG will continue to seek for ways to effectively fulfill its mandate and comply with the numerous directives tasks given by the President. All of this we will carry out to help and support the Filipino people. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat, Secretary Anyo. Yung mga wishlist ng legislation ninyo, I suggest that you have your own liaison officer dito sa Senado ikaw, Yusek, para kay ito yung committee secretariat para maganda yung linkage natin dito. Ang nakikita ko rito, before we go through a formal process, informally dapat magkausap . Ito yung binalangkas na bill, ano yung comment ninyo before we get through the glaring lights of the cameras, para baka konti lang yung pagtatalunan. Gaya kanina, nakita ko yung barangay SK laws amendments. So we might even involve the Commission on Elections. They're supposed to be represented here. Attorney, kayo po sir, ano? So, ganun po siguro yung gagawin nating, we will have a pre-committee conference before we go through the committee conference itself. Kasi pag nasa committee na yon, nandito na lahat yan eh. Yung transcript and everything. Of course, it will be transparent. Pero kung yung matters of terminology lang, pwedeng pag-usapan nyo ng proponent ng batas at coming from your end. Kayo lang naman yung kakausapin and perhaps Department of Finance dun sa funding and then yung PSA. PSA is here? Ayun. So kayo rin yung kakausapin tungkol dun sa mga pagkikreate ng mga bagong legislative districts, kung tama ba yung population. What this committee would like to achieve initially, and as we go through to the next 3 years, is to have a harmonious working relationship with the ILG and other agencies concerned. Gaya nito, you're not under investigation. Ang kailangan lang natin dito, ma-harmonize yung trabaho, mas mabilis yun eh. So ano yung minamadali ngayon ng Pangulo sa SONA? Postponement of the barangay elections. Ang tatanungin doon sa COMELEC, karamihan doon sa mga naging postponement ng barangay elections, nire-require nyo yung mga LGUs na gumastos ng halalan. Ibig sabihin, merong contribution yung mga cities, provinces na gastusin. Sila yung nagpapa-imprenta ng ganito, sila yung nagsusweldo sa mga guro. So, ganitong kaaga pa lang, dapat maliwanag na po yan. Dapat meron na kayong contingent portion of your proposed budget for 2020 kasi alam naman natin may election darating, di ba? Alam naman natin na ipopospone sa 2022. So dapat mapaghandaan na yun. Dapat hindi na paggastusin yung mga LGUs, lalong-lalo na yung maliliit na mga pamahalaan lokal. So ang purpose nitong organizational meeting na ito para makita natin kung saan tayo pwedeng mag-ugnayan ng hindi ganon kapormal, especially with the DILG. This is just one cohesive family. Pero pag yung usapin na critical sa taong bayan, siguro hindi napapayag yung ibang senador. Sina Senator Bato, papasok na dun sa Committee on Public Order, which I am also a member. If there are matters that would need investigation in aid of legislation, yun na yun siguro yung formal meetings natin. Pero pag yung maliliit na bagay tungkol sa terminology, sa mga petsa, sa pagbabalangkas ng batas, siguro magkakaroon tayo ng pre-committee conference na hindi pa ginagawa dati. Technical working group as the Secretariat would suggest. Payag ba kayo doon? Yes. Para
Yes,
hindi
Mr. Chair.
para hindi na rin kayo masyadong maabala. So we'd like to thank Secretary Anyo for that short briefing. Senator Bato, you have something to...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just would like to inform the LG na yung mga priority bills niyo, sir, na gusto nyong ipasa sa amin, I would like to inform you na ako yung chairman ng Public Order and Illegal Drugs. Then, yung mga gusto niyong ipasa, huwag na kung kahit kani-kaninong senador niyo ibigay yan, direkta na sa akin para mabilis tayo. Kasi magkabulabugan na lang kami pagdating sa filing ng mga priority bills namin. Uy, ikaw pala, meron ka palang Homeland Security rin. O ako meron din, ikaw rin meron pala. Diretso na nyo sa kung Homeland Security, doon sa Committee on Security. Pag pertaining to PNP, BJMP, Bureau of Fire, dito sa akin, sa public order na diretso. Para diretso na, para hindi na kami mag-ganong-ganon na marami pala ito. Isahin natin. Isahin na lang. Direkta na lang diretso. Yun lang aking kwan, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Has that been endorsed, that Homeland Security?
Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, we already have the draft but we have not passed the draft to anyone yet because we're still trying to finalize it, but we'd like to submit the draft of this proposed bill to your office, Mr. Chairman.
And I'd like to inform the good secretary that yesterday there was a successful convening of a LEDAC in Malacanang. So you might want to avail of that procedure with the executive secretary para mas mapabilis. I'd like to recognize the presence of General De Leon, sir. Oh, you're representing PPSC. Parang nabago na yun, ano? Parang may bago ng...
Mr. Chairman, the law has just been passed regarding the transfer of the Philippine National Police Academy and the National Police Training Institute back to Philippine National Police. Dati po nasa PPSC yung dalawang institution na ito. So ngayon lang po yung napirmahan ng ating Pangulo, this year lang. And we are now crafting the IRR and we are in the transition period.
Senator De La Rosa?
Yun sir, palapin ko lang yung IRR ninyo dyan para mabilis. Para pagsige pa rin sila tanong-tanong, ano ba nangyari? Mayroon ng batas, wala pa rin IRR. Bilisan lang natin, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And reminder kay, with due respect, Secretary Anyo, yung IRR should really jibe with the law. Kasi minsan, wala sa batas na eh. Yung IRR, napuna ko rin sa housing kahapon. Marami kayong provision sa IRR na wala naman pala sa batas.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. May we just clarify that we've been receiving a lot of comments similar to that, but in the law, there is a lump sum transfer of all the regulatory functions of the HLURB to the department, which were not enumerated. So in the IRR, we enumerated the different regulatory functions of the HLURB. So a lot get the impression that there are a lot of functions which were not in the IRR, which were not in the law but were mentioned in the law in the IRR. But in reality, the law makes a lump sum transfer of all the regulatory powers which were not itemized in the law itself, which we did in the IRR.
Narinig to ng DILG, ang history kasi nito, 3 dekadang pinaghirapan yung Department of Housing. Sina Senator Biason, sina Senator Magsaysay, sina Senator JB. Kaya ayaw naman natin mangyari na naipasa na yung batas, after 3 decades, ma-strike down ng Supreme Court dahil yung IRR nagko-conflict doon sa Republic Act. So we have to be very, very careful when crafting the IRR na hindi sasalungat o i-expand yung batas. So yun siguro yung purpose. Ganon din siguro yung comment ni Senator De La Rosa na yung draft niyong IRR, ipadaan niyo muna sa para sayang yung pinagpagura ng Kongreso, ng Senado kung ma-strike down ng Korte Suprema. I'd like to acknowledge the arrival of the committee Vice Chairman, Senator Amy Marcos. Tapos na yung presentation ng DILG, tapos na yung LPP. So, ganun siguro yon. But I'd like to add doon kay Secretary Anyo, this representation filed a bill for the consideration likewise para malaman ni General De Leon, requiring the Philippine Military Academy and the Philippine National Police Academy to accommodate at least 10% of the new enrollees for admission purposes should come from our cultural minorities. Ito yung mga Aita. Although there is now a consensus among the senators, and Senator Bato can testify, and Senator Amy can affirm that a legislative measure would be passed waiving the height requirement. Pero yung sa akin, yung sa akin, yung eyepiece, bigyan ng karapatang makapasok sa PNP at Philippine Military Academy. Having said that, I'd like to recognize Senator Amy Marcos.
Yes,
Habol ka.
Thank you. Yes, good morning, gentlemen. Yes, I also happen to be the chairman of the Cultural Communities Committee. So, malaking tulong yon. As you know, though, for us in the Cordillera, that would be very easy to comply with kasi may mga bayan-bayan kung saan halos lahat pulis.
Secretary Agneda.
Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, we strongly support that proposal because even when I was the chief of the armed forces, we already implemented the quota recruitment for IPs. From 5%, we increased it actually to 10%. But of course, for PMA and PNPA, we have to make some amendment because the qualifications are really very strict and defined. So we support the proposal, Mr. Chairman.
Nice, the arrival of the good mayor of Manila, Mayor Isko Moreno. Can I request the DILG, isang flash lang uli doon sa legislative proposals niyo para makita ni Senator Amy. Isa lang, 3 seconds lang. 3 seconds lang.
Yung second to the last slide. I was going to ask.
Ito yun na. Can you...
Yeah. That. Yes, I would just like to inform the body that I've actually filed number 3, the institutionalization of the CMGP. I've actually filed that as a bill. So I'm not certain, but I suspect there's a matching counterpart in the lower house. Furthermore, the change of the term, as you know, has already been filed. I think there's a difference in date. Senator Bongo says October 2022. In my case, I abided by the COMELEC recommendation for, I think, May of 2023. So, mamili na lang kayo, and that's up for debate and discussion. The final one, the providing compensation for barangay officials, I think it's been filed by Senator Bongo. I hesitated filing dahil kinumpute namin, exorbitant talaga yung amounts unless maibigay ng ating finance and economic cluster yung tinatawag na NATA, yung share sa IRA ng mga local government. Otherwise, wala talagang pagkukunan ng pondo. I'd like to inquire what are the amendments that you have prioritized to the local government code? Yung number 1 po, kasi napakarami nang na-propose. I was wondering kung alin yung talagang prioritize ng DILG.
For this, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, we are going to submit the detailed proposed amendments, but just to cite a few, to include into the local government code the full public disclosure by governors, city mayors, municipal mayors, treasurers, accountants, budget officers, and other pan-accountable officers of the local budget and finances of the local government unit. Hindi po lahat meron pong certain lang na for disclosure. So we want to be transparent. Yes, FOI. And of course, on the rationalization of the land area requirement for the creation of province, so amending for the purpose the Section 461B of Republic Act 7160, an act to strengthen the local development councils by threefolding its representation, an act amending the Republic Act also by transferring the power to declare a state of calamity in local government unit to the local chief executive, rationalizing the compensation and other benefits of barangay officials and barangay workers. So yun po yung mga ibang gusto namin ipasok for the amendment.
Yung rationalization, yun din yung providing compensation for barangay officials. Medyo
Yes.
stuck up tayo dyan dahil kahit final na ni Senator Go, ang problema dyan yung pondo talaga, walang panggagalingan, napakalaki, bilyones So that's our issue. Yung sa land area, medyo well taken na yan, we know of that. And yung full disclosure of financial transactions, I think we have to specify because so many of the LGUs are actually posting them online. Yung CMGP, okay na yan. Naka-file na po.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the term, okay na rin. So you have a choice between the earlier 2022 October and the May. So negotiate na lang tayo riyan. Okay, thank you. The rest, if you'd kindly submit, Secretary, Anyo, we'd be delighted to expedite.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Secretary Anyo, siguro isubmit nyo kagad kasi with due respect to Senators Bato and Aimee, I think for the first time, this committee is the first committee that has created its own Facebook page. So nakalagay lahat dun yung mga proposals namin, proposals ninyo, and we are now being carried live on Facebook. Naka-live stream tayo ngayon. So ilalagay namin lahat yon. Ito yung galing sa MMDA, ito yung galing sa mga gobernador, ito yung galing sa DILG, para ma-update yung ating mga kababayan kung ano na yung status. So, we begin today. Ito po yung mga ginawa naming pagbabago. So, makikita nyo, there is now a Philippine Senate Committee Facebook page. Nandun po lahat yan. So, Senator Aimee, further questions before we proceed to...
Wala na. Sa legislative agenda, idadagdag ko na lang. Itong matching grant, yung CMGP, ang kaakbay niyan, yung kasama niyan, yung NATA, yung sinasabing share sa IRA na pinanalunan ng mga gobernador. Yung Mandanas ruling po na nanalo rin sa Supreme Court sa motion for recon. So, for expeditious implementation. In fact, the governors are going to Malacanang this afternoon. Pero yung scheme ang importante. I'd like to add also, merong ifa-file kami apropos of the other governors, yung automatic release of the provinces and other LGUs, automatic release ng national wealth. Ito yung sa minahan. And ito yung sa mining, sa windmills and other renewables at yung iba pang mga shares na kahit kailan din namin nakukuha noon. Thank you.
Aimee, for your information, si Justice Velasco was here a while ago.
Okay.
LPP, at it was discussed. But can we have BLGF submit your your reply to Senator Aimee's and DOF also?
That's the Mandanas ruling or the CMGP? Okay. And then the national wealth issue.
So we now go to a pressing issue of the day which this committee took cognizance of motu proprio. Ito yung clearing operations. Sinabi ito ni Presidente sa SONA, this committee would like to be guided by the DILG, the NCRPO, the MMDA, following the pronouncement of the President na mag-clear ng roads. And of course, we acknowledge the initiative taken by the newly minted mayor of the City of Manila, who's been very active on this. Kaya siguro yung ibang mga LGUs kumikilos na rin dahil sa sinimulan ni Mayor Isko Moreno. So, ang tinatanong ng committee ngayon, is there really a concrete circular as to the 60-day period being implemented? That's number one. Secretary Anyo can answer, MMDA can answer, NCRPO can answer. Is the deadline etched in stone na pag hindi narating nakamtan yung 60-day period result, merong administrative penalties dun sa mayors na hindi makakasunod? Number 3, ito po bang ginagawa sa Metro Manila ay ginagawa din sa Cebu, ginagawa din sa Tuguegarao, ginagawa din sa Cagayan de Oro, o dito lamang sa Metro Manila? Is there a is there a plan on the part of the DILG to institutionalize this in such a manner that it will be part of the seal of good local governance? Kung sino yung mga naka-clear, merong recognition, merong award. Number 5, is there an incentive coming from the DILG for those who can comply? Nakita ko nga si General Yasar, sinira niya yung police station malapit sa Krame na nasa bangketa. So, sa lahat na nangyayaring ito, we're now almost done with 25 days. Ganun ba? Tama po ba yun? 1 week pa lang ba to? And then I now, ladies and gentlemen, I now raise that's why I invited, ano ulit pangalan nyo? Department of Human Settlements. Bago pa lang sila eh. They should. Department of Human Settlements, under the law that was just enacted, Republic Act 11201, nakalagay po dito sa general powers ng departamento, ng kagawarang bagong tatag. Section letter H, section, ano bang section ito? Section 22, letter H, nakalagay po dito, katungkulan ng bagong department, and I quote, open roads of subdivisions to the public when the general welfare requires it upon consultation with stakeholders. Ang tingin ko po sa stakeholders ay yung mga residente ng subdivision. Tatanungin ko mamaya, o tinatanong ko na ngayon ng DSUD, have you issued a circular concerning this so that DILG, NCRPO, the City of Manila, MMDA will be guided accordingly. We start with Secretary Anyo, then MMDA, and then kayo. And then siguro we'll have a closing. Nagmamadali ata si Mayor Isko? O ang madali? We started Mayor Isko Moreno. What prompted you to do this? Are you trying to inspire all other LGUs? Is this a part of a campaign promise, or you are just complying with Section 16 of the Local Government Code to implement the General Welfare Clause provision? So, pero bago yon, talagang binabati natin si Mayor Isko for initiating that move. You have the floor, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the members of the committee, good morning, and other guests. Well, thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Chair. Well, una, as like what the Supreme Court said, no, road, alleys, boulevards are beyond the commerce of men. For so many years, I've been hearing that when I was even in the law, during my stint in law school, laging pinaulit-ulit sa amin yun. And in fact, like what you have said, Mr. Chairman, yung Section 16 of the Local Government Code, which is the General Welfare Clause. But bago maging technical, Manila was like, masyado na naging chaotic. Marami na ako naririnig ng mga senior citizen na nakakating trip sila ng biyahe ng ng Divisoria, Cubao, kasi nagkakating trip na sa Abad Santos. And the reason behind it is the entire recto from Asuncion to Abad Santos, that total of 8 lanes, more or less, are closed to public utility vehicle access. And even to the point, maraming senior citizen nangadapa, dala ng hindi na talaga, kahit maglakad, hindi na makapasok ng Abad Santos. So this was an issue of the people of Manila. So during the time, yes, I agree with the chair that it is our commitment to the people of Manila during the campaign. So immediately when we were fortunate to win the election, we are already dead set in our mind on what to do. And for so many interviews, I was asked, anong unang gagawin sa Maynila, ay literal po talaga yon, hindi po yun metaphor. Talaga pong paliliguan namin ang Maynila. Dahil nga ho ang Maynila naging dugyot, naging banilin, libagin, parang there is no government, sort of saying. But everybody wanted the peace of the street. Everybody wanted the peace of the enterprise. Whether politicians or individuals or sino man yung mga organizer o mga siga-siga. So, kaya po, yun talaga ang nagtulak sa amin. To put order in the streets of Manila. At ang maganda po nito, Mr. Chair, TYO ito. Wala ho itong tosgas. Wala ho talaga. Kasi tingnan ninyo, sa totoo, to be honest and to be technical about it, ang nagastos ko lang yata in 3 weeks, 125,000 o 150,000. Nag-file lang ako ng bond. Nanalinis yung Recto, Soler, Wanluna, Tondo, Wanluna, Binondo, Dagupan, Bloomingtreet, Carriedo, Raon, Quezon Boulevard. TYO yun. Paano naging TY? Meron naman kami city engineering, meron naman kami DPS. Meron ding utaw yun. Mga empleyado namin. Existing. 15 at 30, nasweldo yun. Meron din kaming mga natitira pang supplies. So, we really try to be imaginative in such a way that ano ba talaga ang gustong mangyari ng pamahalaan at ng tao, anong inaasahan ng tao. So, nangyari na yung nangyari. Pero meron lang akong isi-share, if I may be allowed. Your Honor, gusto niyo bang malinis ang kalye? Simple-simple lang. Huwag kayong tatanggap. Huwag kayong tatanggap ng tangga. O ng gaila. Umpisahan nyo na po yan sa barangay chair. Ano po, total, anyway, gagawa naman kayo ng batas eh. Gagawa naman, I would assume that the committee will come up with something with this. Simula po yan sa chairman. Una muna, organize yung kapgu, mga sibilyan, mukhang pulis. Mga pulis Makati po yun eh. Pulis Makatingin. Ang dami nun eh. Mga sibilyan yan, may baril, mag-organize. Kakausapin si chairman. Pagkakausap kay chairman, susunod yan, PCP. Police Community Precinct. Susunod yan, Commander, Presinto. Susunod yan, ahensya ng local government. Yun ang DPS, o like in our case, DPS. O doon na, susunod si Edina sa Kasipati. Doon na po nangyayari ang lahat. So my point is, Mr. Chair, dapat magkaroon ng basic law. I mean, I don't know if that's what you call it, but kapag ka merong ganoon, dapat automatic administratively liable yung barangay chairman. Yung LESPO. Automatic. Because if you are going to order them, Mr. Chair, what will happen next is cat and mouse. Totolong gising ka lang ng mga tao sa kalye. Kaya hindi nyo napansin, hindi ako natutulog. Dahil alam ko, totolong gising ako eh. Alam ko, nakapagtalikod ko, ilalatag nila ulit yan. Unang gagawin dyan, i-sniper. They call it in the street, sniper. Mobile yan, mobile. Pwede ho yan, isang parang kumot or tarpaulin, nyanyanggayin lang yan pagka pagka merong clearing operation. Pag iskerda ng clearing operators, latag na sila. Eh, mapapagod yung gobyerno, mapapagod yung pamahalaan. O, yung dating sniper, magkakatarima na yun. Yung lamesa. O, yung tarima, o, komportable na. O, susunod doon, magkakabodega na. Ah, totoo po yun. Tapos susunod doon, magkakabanyo na siya. You can see, Juan Luna, you should see, wag na kayo lumayo sa City Hall ng Manila. I know some of you went to City Hall of Manila. Just 50 steps away, yung Taytay Island namin. Ito, opisina ng mayor, nandiyan dyan, no? 160 na bahay, bodega, tindahan, kubeta, in a park. So my point is, kaya kailangan po, Chair, Mr. Chair, siguro, pag nag-exist, administratively liable kagad yung barangay chairman at saka yung police bago pa umakyat yung responsibilidad sa alkalde. Kasi po bakit? Katulad namin, 43 million square kilometer with thousands of streets with 896 barangay, about 10,000 barangay official, and we have 20,000 barangay tanods in the city of Manila. More, and we are being surrounded by creeks, rivers, and the bay. Mas nakakaawa po ang Quezon City, mas malaki po sila. 3 doble po ang Quezon City, kaya nakakaawa ang Quezon City government talaga in terms kung babantayan ng babantayan. Now, I think it's high time to create a law. I don't know, ayoko pong pangunahan ng Senado. Merong nakalatag. Napicturan, nakalatag. Bukas, suspendido na si chairman. Yung lespo, iskerda na. Tapong ka na. Bakit? May batas eh. Ngayon kasi, ang gagawin mo, Mr. Chair, wag taka doon sa Didi, pusa pare, yung commander mo dito, lipat mo muna to, tigasang ulo. So, lagi ka nalang makikiusap, kasi one way or another, babalik tayo doon sa unang nasabi ko. Tanggal lang yan, Mr. Chair. Yan ang bunot dulo ng lahat yan. Yung may mga politiko nung araw, may in denial pa na sabi, wala daw pera sa rekto. Wala raw pera sa kalye. Hindi raw totoo na milyon-milyon ang pera. Ito po ang challenge ko sa inyo. What is or what are your compelling reason not to do your job? Basic lang mo yan. Anong nagtutulak sa atin para, sa totoo po, wala naman po kaming ginagawa. In-implement lang po namin yung, sa tingin namin, gusto lang namin maibalik sa taong bayan yung kalsada. Total, nahirati na po sila. Nahirati na sila ng dalawa. Kasi amin, in our case, I'm not speaking in behalf of Metro Manila. 2 decades. Sabi nga ng tao, may kalye pala yung rekto. Ito ba? So sa amin lang, hindi naman siguro masama sa aming mga tagapamahala na muli naman makamtan ng taong bayan sa pangkalahatan yung kalye. Ngayon, ano po naging epekto? Ayun na. O di, naging matik. Nawala yung cutting trip. Bakit? Nakakadiretso na yung Baclaran Divisoria, Cubao Divisoria, o MCU Divisoria. Lahat po kasi yan, ang ending yan, Divisoria. Talagang dyan po lahat yan sa Asuncion. Tapos, kami po ba naging madamot sa ating mga kababayang malilit? Ay, hindi po. Ang clear namin, yung backbone. Saan namin sila inilagay? Sa fishbone. Perpendicular road. Tapos piyait-piyait kami. Dalawang lane. Left and right. o sa vendor, o center lane. Total of 1 lane ang size amin, city government, para sa taong bayan. Tapos inalis lang namin yung tangga, siyempre. Alam mo naman dyan, talagang marami pa rin mga enterprising individual. So really, hindi pa kami successful. We're just starting. And I'm happy that President Duterte came up with a policy during the SONA. And I'm happy that Secretary Anyo came up with a memo. Why? At least, ito, hindi na kami mapagbibintangan ng kapritsyo lang ito or shenanigans. Epal lang. Ito, meron na kami memo ng DILG. Iyohoyo kami nito pagka hindi kami tumapad. Kumbaga, kaya ako kami natutuwa sapagkat ngayon po, ang nangyayari, nagiging pangkalahatan na. Kaya sa ating mga manunood, sa ating mga kababayan, ang MMDA, naatasan na rin, ang DILG naatasan na rin, ang local government. So, kaya siguro, the best way to do it, kung talagang desidido tayo, once and for all, Mr. Chair, basta nag-exist, ganun na lang, nag-exist, automatic, strike one. Maniwala kayo, there is 44,000 barangays, 42,000 barangays all over the country, 1,600 LGUs. It's really hard to, pag sinabi nating testing muna, o tikim-tikim, lalo lang lilito, dapat to talaga, there must be certainty so that we, in the local government unit, following one direction. So, yun po, Mr. Chair, yan po ang maliit naming karanasan sa loob ng 1 buwan at 5 araw. Opo, marami pang challenge.
Before we proceed, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the following city administrators from Las Piñas, Mr. Balagulan, Mr. Ariel Inton from Quezon City, Mr. Jeronimo Manzanero, City Administrator of Pasig, the City Administrator of Parañaque, Fernando Soriano, the City Administrator of Pasay, Dennis Acorde, from Makati, Mr. Michael Camina, Councilor Raul Roco from Muntinlupa City, and from Malabon, Attorney Escalada. Meron ba akong hindi nabanggit? Salamat sa inyong pagdating. Siguro narinig nyo na yung...
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
maybe acknowledge also our Assistant City Administration, Bebot Kimpo of Quezon City.
Hindi, wala dito sa pangalan. We
Bebot
acknowledge your
Kimpo.
presence. I'm sorry for that. I posed 5 questions to Secretary Anyo. I hope you recorded that. Nakalimutan ko na yung iba. Naalala ko lang yung sinabi ni Mayor Esco, tangga. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung tangga. Tangga kasi damit dati nung ano eh.
Tangga. Yung yan, sinusuto ng yun sa ibaba. Pero yung tangga sa kalye, lagay ho yun. Yan ang...
Secretary Anyo.
Mr. Chair, first of all, I'd like to express my support to the position of Mayor Isko Moreno. Kung lahat po ng mayor ay katulad ni Mayor Isko Moreno, siguro mababawasan o baka wala na tayong problema sa buong Pilipinas. Because implementation of enforcing of discipline to our constituents should start from the local chief executives and the LGU officials. Hindi po pwede makapagpatupad tayo ng disiplina kung tumatanggap tayo ng lagay at hindi natin ginagawa yung trabaho. Yung pong ating direktiba na to, matagal na po yan eh. Yan naman talaga dapat gawin ng ating mga local chief executives. May ibang gumagawa pero walang timeline, walang deadline, at hindi simultaneous at walang concerted effort. So the President, during the last SONA, he announced a presidential directive during the State of the Nation address to clear roads of illegal structures and constructions. So sa amin po sa DILG, we're not into the business of traffic management because that belongs to other agencies. But sa amin is to ensure that all roads and illegal structures and constructions are removed. So I issued a memo circular 2019-121 last July 29, and it will cover a period of 60 days. A policy requiring LGUs nationwide to clear obstructions and address traffic in their areas. Ang mga pinagalan po natin ng memo ay ang mga governors, city and municipal mayors, punong barangays, heads of local sanggunians, and including DILG regional directors, BARMM regional governor. So, mean to say po, nationwide itong ating memo circular. And in fact, for our priority region, which is the NCR, I assign USEX and ASEX from the DILG to closely work with Metro Manila mayors to carry out the directive of the President. Ito po yung mga salient features ng ating memo circular.
Of course, Secretary, will provide this committee a copy of your circular.
Yes, Your Honor, yes. Reclaim public areas used for private ends. Demolish illegal structures and constructions. Rehabilitate all recovered public roads, including the placement of street light and signages. Address displacement issues and revoke permits that allowed private entities to occupy public roads, and revisit ordinances and similar measures that are contrary into this MC. And of course, to prepare inventory of all roads within their jurisdiction. The primary roads and secondary roads, yun po yung priority natin, dapat 24/7, ano po yan, wala dapat na mga nakapark dyan. Yung tertiary road natin, kung saan nandun yung sa mga barangay, magkakaroon po dapat ng measure dyan ng one-side parking at night time. Dapat pag daytime, malinis din po yan. Simple lang yan, but it would be a big help to our constituents. So ito pong MC na to ay nag-start July 29. So ngayon po ay pang 8 araw na natin ito. And I'm happy to announce also that we have seen mayors leading our effort to clean up the roads. In fact, I issued another order for the mayors to get out of their offices and lead the clearing of the roads. So, likewise, I directed also the Philippine National Police to remove all PCPs and also the barangay captains to remove barangay halls that are in the middle of the street or in the roads. So tatanggalin po natin yan. And you asked about the incentive. So far we have not established any incentive.
Question, I suggested twice, Secretary, to make that part of the Seal of Good Governance Award and provide some incentives to the LGUs complying with your circular. But I have a sixth question. Kung 60 days lang po ito, paano ho yung continuity nito, yung sustainability nito? After August, after September, o nakakomply kami, September, o tapos na yung circular, may deadline, nakakomply kami sa deadline, pero pagdating ng December, o bumalik na naman yung daycare center, nilagay na doon sa gitna. Di ba? So, how do you sustain this?
Yung pong 60 days, Mr. Chairman, is just the clearing operations. Kasama rin po sa memo circular, yung sustenance and maintenance nitong orderliness. Diyan po pumapasok yung sinasabi kanina ni Mayor Isko na sana magkaroon ng batas para one strike para sa ating mga, especially barangay captains. But in the existing setup, meron po naman tayong mga kaukulang sanctions or disciplinary measures, particularly suspending the local government officials. The mayors, the city mayors and the provincial governors are directly under the supervision of the president. So the president can, and the president mentioned to me that just make the recommendation, he would immediately enforce the preventive suspension. And for the municipal mayors and the barangay captains, dalawan po yan, ano? Pwede pong through the sangguniang panglungsod at sangguniang panlalawigan, at meron pong mas direct approach through the ombudsman. And last week I had a meeting with the ombudsman himself, and he's very supportive. In fact, if I would bring the complaint directly to the ombudsman for the municipal mayors and the barangay captain. He would ensure the issuance of preventive suspension. We have to do this, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, because we believe that we have to really strictly enforce the law.
Yes, Mr. Chair, on the same topic, gusto lang namin magpasalamat kay Mayor Isko, mga shoppingerang laman ng Divisoria, katulad ng nanay ko at ako. At sa wakas nakakalakad na, mabilis na. Ang problema, maraming nagsasabi na pagkatapos ng 1 oras, 2 oras, nagsisibali ka na naman. At ito na ang kinatatakutan natin, yung totolonggasin nga at yung usong sniper sa Manila. Pabalik-balik lang talaga. At may pumupuna pa nga na yung pulis at yung ating mga DPS, yung ating mga engineering office have much better work to do than to keep clearing these people every hour on the hour. Meron na ba tayong mas long-term plan? Kasi ang kabila naman ito, alam natin na si Mayor hirap din dahil maraming umaangal na ang mga palengke at lehitimong lugar ng pagbenta napakamahal katulad ng Quinta Market. Hindi naman afford ng tao. So, eto nga, ano yung sabihin na natin, medium term or long term plan para sa lahat ng vendors ng Maynila, kahit sinasabi na hindi taga Maynila kundi Dayo, ano ang plano natin?
Thank you, Madam Senator. Well, kami po, katulad na nabanggit ko sa bandang huli kanina, we tried to accommodate as many as possible. Pero ako po, personally, hindi po ako umaakap ng posing hindi ko kayang yakapin talaga. I can only do this much, but the others should also do the same. For example, I hope our neighboring cities will not get offended. Pasensya na kayo. Some of these vendors are from Baclaran, some of these vendors are from Parañaque, and some of these vendors are from Malabon. So, kasi naging tawag dito, minahan ng opportunity ang recto, so everybody wanted to go there. But in our case, kita po ninyo, no, hindi naman no kami perfect talaga yung nangyari. Mapapasin ninyo yung recto, tingnan niyo yung bangketa, may tinda pa. Because what we're after is basically clear the streets. Let people use the street. Literal. Non-negotiable. So, tapos pagpapasin nyo, pagpupunta kayo ng Ilaya, Santo Cristo, Haboneros, Carmen Planas, Tabora, no? Makikita nyo, nandoon naman sila. Same thing with Quiapo, non-negotiable ang Carriedo. Pero pag tinignan mo doon sa Hidalgo, Villalobos, okay naman. Katulad halimbawa ng Plaza Miranda, sabi ko, doon sa PCP Commander, si Major, sabi ko, non-negotiable yung Plaza Square. Kasi yung spill ng mga magsisimba, ayoko sila nag-i-spill sa Quezon Avenue, kasi Quezon Boulevard, kasi yung Quezon Boulevard, Major Thoroughfare, baka magka-aksidente. Kasi dati doon na nga nag-i-spill ang tao tuwing Biyernes. O ngayon, nag-i-spill. Isa naman nilagay yung vendor doon sa Gedli. Andiyan lang sila. Sa may square. Gilid.
Gilid.
Gilid. Ayan. Andiyan lang siya. So nakapaghanap buhay naman sila.
So Mayor, ilan sa tingin mo yung dapat i-accommodate talaga? May bilang na ba yan?
More or less, we're talking of about easily 5,000 to 7,000.
Ilan dyan ang ma-accommodate mo at balak mo i-accommodate on a more permanent basis?
It will never be permanent, Madam. I beg your indulgence. I cannot make it permanent because this is streets. This is what we call by tolerance and by compassion. This is now...
so, tiisan lang tayo muna.
Opo, talagang parang nagbabalanse ka lang ng na okay, kala ko ba beyond the commerce of men? Bakit ito, kalye? So, you're trying to govern in such a way, this is the general public, this is for some, itong mga mahihirap nating kababayan. But along the way, Chairman Lim, we've been talking about making available space with regard if the Senate or another department which we have to talk to is DNR, yung mga creek namin,
Oo.
these are spaces. Sa mga makabagong bansa o makabagong mga mauunlad na bansa, creeks are now being utilized as a space, whether green space or parking space.
Or even just a temporary area for commerce.
Yan, yun po, Madam Senator. Napakaganda po nung idea ninyo.
Yep.
Na kung saan, sa Makati nga, nagawa nila eh. Nagkaroon pa ng sinihan eh, yung creek eh. Oo.
Sa Mailog.
Meron no, di ho ba? So baka naman po pwede rin maging applicable yung the same concept kasi okay lang naman kami mangopya kung sa tingin naman namin napapakinabangan naman. Iyon po katulad kami, meron kami tinatawag na Muelle de Binondo. Ang laki po nun. Alam po ninyo yun, ha? Roughly, this is about 10 hectares. 10 hectares in the heart of Binondo. Marami pa kaming creek sa Ungpin. Marami pa kaming creek sa Magdalena.
Huwag lang matakpan ng permanente.
Parang
Yun
ano
lang
po
naman
yun,
ang
may
issue
concept
doon.
po doon,
Oo.
in between, may space for purposes of dredging.
Dredging.
Tapos, para may views, may eyesight ka lang kung clog ba yung ilalim. Kaya naman po yun. Nag-i-exist na po yung teknolohiya na yun.
Yun lang ang i-recommend kasi nga it's an axiom in good governance that we frequently forget na kinakailangan gawing madali ang tumupad sa batas, sumunod sa batas. It's very, very important that we make laws very, very easy to follow and very difficult to disobey. Dapat ganon. Mahirap kapag walang pupuntahan yung mga itinerant vendors. Kasi alam natin na sa Maynila, may mga palengke katulad na Quinta na saksakan ng mahal, na wala talaga mapuntahan. Kaya na-privatize. At eto nga, yung issues, na sana mas creative, mas innovative tayo, gamitin na natin yung mga estero without covering them up and causing even more flooding. Gamitin na rin natin yung mga off hours, katulad ng night market o yung mga temporary na tiyangge na alam naman natin pwede naman yun sa Korea, di ba, hanggang umaga ang palengke, buong gabi. Basta walang hadlang pag-araw at time na ng opisina at eskwela. So, I think these creative approaches, in addition to clearing, need to follow hard on the footsteps of your efforts. Kasi kapag walang solusyon, wala rin tayong madadamay at tunay na babalik at babalik, totulunggasin tayo ng walang katapusan.
Anything more, Mayor?
In fact, meron kaming sa Manila po, no, night market. Ito naman, tulong naman namin to sa Benguet, tulong namin to sa Nueva Ecija, Nueva Vizcaya, lahat ng nasa ibabaw ng Northern Luzon at Central Luzon. And some portion of, hanggang Ilocos, yung Bawang, Sibuyas, meron kaming night market. That particular night market, you know why it's successful? Bakit successful yung night market na yon? Yan yung magsisimula sa kanto ng Juan Luna, Recto, all the way to Asuncion. Left and right, west and eastbound. Alam niyo bakit successful yun? At hindi pa ako tao, ganun na ang itsura nun. Because ang tinitinda nila, gulay. Gulay lang talaga to redistribute sa community. So pagdating ng umaga, which is alas 5 ng umaga, ligpit na tarima, tiklop na tarima, saka na yan darating. Yan, si Senator Francis Tolentino was there for so many times. Flushing, cleaning, recto.
Tigaro ng lola ko sa Asuncion.
Kaya, so, yung night market na yun, kaya siya magiging successful kasi because yung paninda. Yung aming night market na ginawa ng mga nagdaang panahon, kaya siya hindi magiging successful kasi yung katamaran na rin ng tao magligpit. Ang gusto niya, pag nabili niya na to, yung rights, they call it goodwill. May goodwill sa kalye. Baka magulat kayo sa presyo. Pinakamura dyan, 30,000, 500,000, 1 million. Pati dingding na may dingding hanggang langit, pwede ka magkabit. Opo. Kaya hindi ito biro baka kalapuni. Kami sa mga taga-Tondo, taga doon sa area, alam namin yung nangyayari. Kabisado namin. But the viewers will never understand how is it there. But the thing is, going back, kaya hindi magiging successful yung night market, kapag binigay mo na yung kanan, dadakmay na ho yung kaliwa mo niyan. Kasi, ang gusto niya, dahil nagbayad siya ng 30,000, tas may tanggap pa siya ng 350 isang araw, meron na siyang tinatawag na rights. So gagawin niya, didingdingan niya na yan. Tapos kakandaduhan niya na. So, hindi na po aalis. Diyan na po magkakaproblema ang DPWH, MMDA. Bakit? Lahat ng imbornal niyan, hindi mami-maintain. Hindi malilinis. Dadausdos ang tao. Bakit? Yung putik, yung accumulation ng putik, tapos yung mga mantika, marami talaga siyang problema.
Bayad na Mayor pagtatawid. Tulay na yan.
Ako Diyos ko. Alam nyo kasi, kaya kami doktong ni Senator Tolentino, dahil nagkasabay kami talaga sa kalye. We've seen how sa kalye, kung ano talaga ang takbuhan. So be that as it may, that's why nakikisuyo kami na kung po pwede, ang DNR, luwagan ng konti yung rule in utilizing creeks and estero. Yun lang, pagka yun, pinagbigyan nyo kami, I think any LGU will spend money to create space. Because wala na kami makreate na space We can duplicate it vertically. With that. Tapos, napoproteksyonan pa rin. Of course, nandun pa rin yung value on how we are going to protect the environment. Ano naman kami doon? No question naman yun. It's just that we need some level of ease in the local government unit on how to utilize esteros and creeks. Except Pasig River, na non-negotiable kami ron. Okay.
River.
Ayan, yung mga, hindi ko kasi ako taga San Juan magkarugtong nga pala.
Labas yun ng Santa Mesa. Santa Mesa, labas doon, papunta na Santa Ana.
Nga pala, magkaduktong yun doon sa may Mandaluyong area. Yun lang po. Salamat po.
Naimbita sana natin si Secretary Simato, but I'm sure the other LGUs are listening. Nasagot ni Secretary Anyo yung mga tanong kanina. At malaking tulong po ang NCRPO. But is this happening all over the country? Lahat na may efforts ang clearing, katulong po yung ating kapulisan?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Hindi lang sa Metro Manila?
Hindi lang po Metro Manila. Particularly yung mga highly urbanized cities. Diyan naman po talaga nagkaroon ng mga problema dahil sa traffic at saka sobrang dami ng sasakyan at mga illegal vendors like Cebu, also some parts there in Iloilo. So kasama po dito yung mga cities na ito at yung mga developed municipalities.
Siguro, Mayor, bago ko umalis, tingnan mo muna ito yung flash ko sa screen. Can we flash that on the screen? Can we have that provision? Can the other city administrators take a look at this? Kanina, tinatanong ko si DSUD, yung newly created department, nakalagay sa batas na in effect na, trabaho ninyo, open the roads of subdivisions to the public, the newly enacted law, creating the Department of Housing. Open the roads of subdivisions to the public when the general welfare requires it upon consultation with stakeholders. Ito sa ginagawa po ngayon ng DILG, ito po ba ay napag-usapan na? Ganon din po, lalong-lalo nandito ang Quezon City, nandito ang Pasig, nandito ang Parañaque, mga BF homes. So, napag-usapan na ba ito na meron tayong ganitong batas ngayon, in effect, bago pa lang, wala pang isang linggo, na may karapatan pala na buksan na. Si bagong departamento, nag-issue na ba kayo ng circular tungkol dito? Yung inyong implementing rules ba, tinalakay na po ito? Kasi kahit dito sa Maynila, meron po tayong isang maliit na subdivision dito sa UN Avenue, papunta ng Paco, papunta ng may Malacanang area, na pwede rin sigurong magamit. So, kailan kayo maglalabas nito ng circular dito kung hindi pa kayo nakakapaglabas? Should?
Mr. Chair, in our IRR, which we have issued and published just last week, we mentioned this authority of the department, but this would entail additional circulars, which we have to, the first marching order from our secretary is really to come up with the most important IRRs, and that would include the IRR on the opening of roads of subdivision, which would entail really the collaboration and coordination with other government agencies, with the DILG, and probably the relevant stakeholders, the subdivision owners and developers also. But as I said, our first order from our secretary is really to come up with a very important IRR, so that while we are still transitioning, we are already drafting the IRR. So come January, we will be fully operational with this important IRR, including the submission of the identification of idle government land suitable for housing and urban development.
Maling salita, hintayin pa natin ng January, habang nagmamadali ang DILG at ang mga LGUs, bago natin gamitin itong provision na ito. Sa palagay ng marami, ay makakatulong talaga. Hindi ba urgent yan na nabanggit sa SONA?
Yes, it's really urgent, and particularly as our contribution in solving the traffic problem. So we would be coordinating particularly with the DILG on the issuance of the IRR as soon as possible. That is instruction from our secretary.
And with the various city governments, ito, nagtataas ng kamayang Marikina.
Muntinlupa, Mr. Senator.
Muntinlupa, I'm sorry.
Mr. Senator, in Muntinlupa, we already implemented interconnection of subdivisions. Because we are a city of subdivisions, we invoke Section 16 of the Local Government Code of 1991, police power, and we are already implementing this in Muntinlupa. We interconnected different subdivisions using their existing roads because Muntinlupa is only one old national highway.
Tunasan.
Dumadami ang tao, dumadami ang sasakyan, hindi naman dumadami yung kalsada. So we have to think out of the box, and we opened up different subdivisions, and we called the ordinance CARES. CARES means City Alternative Route Entry and Exit System. We have to care for one another, otherwise traffic will not be solved in Metro Manila.
And I think Las Piñas and Parañaque, meron kayong freedom lane, friendship lane, kaya lang, merong sticker. Pag wala kang sticker, hindi ka makakapasok. So siguro, si bagong tatag na Department of, si DSUD, ay dapat liwanagin nyo ito. Kanino magbabayad ng sticker? Sa subdivision ba? Sa pamahalaan lokal? O sa DSUD? Para synchron, kasi buong Pilipinas itong provision ito eh. Yung ginawa ng Las Piñas at Parañaque, napakaganda, pero sila lang yon, Muntinlupa, sila lang yung gumawa ng gano'n. So, nakikita ko, darating yung panahon na makakadaan na sa Corinthian. Pagtawid galing ng EDSA, papasok ng Katipunan Avenue. Makakadaan na sa, marami na magagalit sa akin. Makakadaan na sa Wakwak, tatawid na papunta na ng Mandaluyong, kung saan. So, I think, huwag nyo nang patagalin. Huwag nyo nang patagalin to. Kung igagalang yung karapatan ng mga residential homeowners, so be it, may oras, kung may sticker, following the examples of Muntinlupa, Las Piñas, and Parañaque, gawin siguro natin. Gano'n na rin siguro, marami magagalit, gano'n na rin siguro yung ibang kalye sa Cebu, na marami mga subdivision na pwedeng tumawid. Siguro, limited ng time, limited yung kalye, specified, and with a corresponding local ordinance.
Yeah.
Di ba? Dapat wag nyo nang patagalin yun.
Yes,
Madam
Mr.
Amy?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Chair. In addition to the general welfare clause of the LGC, may I remind everyone that there is in fact a Section 17 requiring all the LGUs to provide basic services and facilities. Ang nakakatuwa rito, may karagdagan lamang para sa city. At nakita ko lang nung naghahanda kagabi na in fact yung sa city, sa number 4, in addition to municipalities, in addition to governors and provinces, yung city may karagdagan na utos. Adequate communication and transportation facilities. Yun lang ang dagdag for the cities. So it's very, very clear that the authors of the local government code at that time, even then, realized that clearing streets, for example, and providing adequate transportation facilities were right up there in the priorities for our cities. So kahit hindi pa fully operational yun, they should, andyan na yung batas, maliwanag rin ang ating local government code, both 16 and 17, number 4 for cities. Maliwanag po.
Senator Amy, siguro pag-craft nyo ng IRR tungkol dito, pag inopen nyo yung subdivision road, it is now the duty of the LGU concerned to maintain that road. Hindi na yung subdivision, hindi na yung private village. Kasi hindi na homeowners is Makati here? Makati is Makati here? Di ba yung Makati may mga barricade? Yung mga barangay nila? Sa oras ng gabi, may pinatutupad na curfew, hindi makadaan, di ba? So parang ganun siguro. But at the same time, maintaining the rights of the subdivision owner. So ibabalanse yon. Yes, sir. Parañaque is recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chair, good morning. Two things, Mr. Chair. In consideration with that newly passed law, please take note that there is also what we call the Magna Carta of homeowners. And then this law is the law being utilized by our homeowners, whereby they control our streets, especially in my city, in Barangay BF. That is only one thing. I hope it can also be revisited. What is now the relationship of that the Magna Carta of homeowners?
This is the latest law.
Yes, as
The
I said,
latest law will prevail.
that's correct. I agree with that. But on the second issue also, I would like also to have just to highlight the proposition of the good mayor of Manila, Mayor Isko Moreno, on the alternative insofar as vendors is concerned. In our city, as early as, if I'm not mistaken, January, Chairman Lim of MMDA, as early as January, as early as November last year, our city, through the Honorable Mayor Adin Olivares, we passed a request through MMDA and approved by the MMC, Metro Manila Council, whereby we proposes an alternative site for our vendors, for a long-term and permanent one. If you notice in Ross Boulevard, in front of Redemptor Research, there is an open channel. Yeah. No,
Sa tapat ng City of Dreams.
No.
Sa tapat Nobo.
No, in front mismo, sir, of Your Honor, of the Redemptor Research, may open channel dyan. That open channel actually serve no purpose. Because if you visit that site, there is only one culvert, which is about 36 inches in diameter only. It does not even serve any purposes so far as declogging for water in flooding in our streets of Ross Boulevard. So our proposal is, at this point in time, we have an initial amount reserved for that, 100 million from our city. We are offering our service to construct a permanent site, open steel type on that area, whereby we can accommodate not only the vendors of Parañaque, but likewise of Pasay, which in our service about 3,500 vendors in totality, so that we can immediately transfer there. And if we were given a green light by the national government, particularly by the PRA, and yesterday I just sent a copy to our Honorable Secretary of DOJ, Secretary Guevara, for them to ask an opinion as required by the PRA, If we were given a green light to do it, then we can construct a permanent steel tap in that area in just a period of 3 to 4 months. And soon thereafter, we can accommodate the vendors for 3,500 from my city and likewise of Pasay. And therefore, if this would be the case, we will be maintaining that area, whereas as I have said, it serves no purpose of decongesting for any flooding
Ito
at all.
yung gilid ng simbahan, ano?
No, in front of
Sa
that,
harap?
Your Honor. Across Ross Boulevard. The area is about 60 meters by 300 meters from Ross Boulevard all the way to Macapagal. So if, as I have said, if the levy be given to us, our initial funding for that from my city, we have 100 million to construct immediately. In 3 to 4 months, we can complete it and immediately relocate our vendors, freeing the streets of Ross Boulevard, the
Tama,
Redemptorist
may
Road.
taklob yan eh, di ba? May mga
No. It's an open, Your Honor.
So
It's an open.
walang dumadaloy na tubig doon?
Wala po.
Walang-
Actually, the water in that area is a rainwater. It can be confirmed with the MMDA. And yesterday, we just sent to them the copy of our request, and then they approved MMC, Metro Manila Council, all the mayors of the Metro Manila, they approve it. And then, as you've said, if we will only be given the green light to proceed with it immediately, even by next week, we can start it, utilizing our available initial 100 million fund for that, so that we can immediately construct it and
So who will
relocate
give
our
the
ven-
approval? DNR? PRA?
according to MMDA,
Sir,
it's the PRA.
actually, sir, I'm setting a meeting with the PRA and the SOJ. Kasi understand, actually, kausap ko si GM Rubiato of PRA. Sabi niya, walang problema. The problem is, kasi nga merong ruling dati na beyond commerce of man pag mga waterways. Pero may ruling din po dati sa DOJ regarding that one. That's why I'm setting up a meeting maybe next week. Kahapon lang kasi napadala sa akin yung mga documents. So we're gonna meet Secretary Guevara and the PRA and Chairman Lim para pag-usapan kung paano nga po masusolusyonan yan.
Quezon City?
Yeah.
Siguro we expect 3 to 5 more questions before we conclude this meeting. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, the approach of the Quezon City government to comply with the DILGMC 2019-121 has really been a multi stakeholder and multi-agency approach, no? In fact, Mayor Belmonte dubs the entire effort as bayanihan sa lansangan. For my part, as Assistant City Administrator and a licensed environmental planner, I am happy that Mayor Belmonte has approached this, and we reported to Yusek Fiorese of DILG yesterday about it, that every effort that is undertaken by the Quezon City government entails an urban planning, an urban redevelopment approach. The problem of decongesting the streets.
You're now
at Kadun-
referring to the NIA Road, ito mga
Yes, sir.
likod
Yes,
ng
sir.
ano.
No. All of these, while of course decongestion is the main driver, the main force, the main deliverable, it cannot do without urban redevelopment, because we're already at a situation whereby simply clearing is not going to address the problem. As already mentioned earlier, magbabalikan lang ho yung kiniklear natin. Which is why, with our experience in QC, I would like to strongly suggest to my counterparts with the other LGUs to tap their city planning and development offices, particularly the urban planners in their staff, given that we need to tap this profession that we have in order to help us envision what it is that we need for our city. And with the greatest respect to my colleague who mentioned earlier, utilizing the waterway, we may want to think very carefully about that. There is much urban planning literature that actually tells us that many efforts of other modernized cities to utilize their waterways in that particular manner has actually led to them tearing down whatever it was that they put on top of their waterways, simply because it's something that is going to to be very uncertain given climate change and DRRM considerations. I would also like to recognize our colleague from the city government who even before DILG MC 2019-121, former councilor, former LTFRB chairman Ariel Inton has been tasked to actually address the problem of traffic and transportation management in the city, which of course we're doing so very closely coordinated with our city planning.
NMMDA
Given that
siguro
it's
din.
yes,
Narinig ko kayo sa radyo. Pero to cut short,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Kim po, cut you short. Take a look at the provisions of the newly enacted DSUD law. Nakalagay po doon, the new department will have to issue new standards for CLUP. And all existing CLUP may be amended.
Okay.
So now is the right time for you to amend or modify your comprehensive land use plan. Kasama na yung sinasabi nyo doon sa daanan na pwedeng, isama nyo na sa CLUP nyo yun. Para pag pumunta kayo kay Secretary Guevara, nakalagay ito sa aming CLUP. Di ba? Which has been approved. Mas matibay siguro yun. That's my only suggestion. So, siguro we now go to General Yasser.
Sir. Mr. Chairman, just a few concern sa aming pong ginagawang mga clearing. Meron pong isang malaking problema po na nais po namin sabihin po sa Senado na of course sa DILG. Sa Quezon City po, we are the host city of so many government offices. And these government offices have no adequate parking spaces. So ang ginagamit po nilang parking, sidewalk or kalye. Or worst, like for instance, my former agency, LTFRB, the attention of the, we were, I think 2 or 3 networks already called our attention. Agham Road, which is near East Avenue, ginawa pong impounding area ng LTFRB. About 30 or more buses lined up there. No? And eto po, I sympathize with my former agency kasi ang ginawa nila, ang kanila ngayon impounding area, Tarlac, sa malayo-layo. And yet, hindi po madaanan yung kalye. So isa po yun sa problema namin, mga government offices. Another, and ito yung sa Bureau of Jail Management Penology. Nasa Mindanao Avenue. When we went there, cleared the area, nakipag-cooperate po sila doon. And yet, ang problema nila, wala po silang parking space, kundi yung kahabaan ng Mindanao na napaka-traffic. And then, one more thing, isusumbong ko na po to, andyan naman po si General Elizar and of course Senator Bato, you know very well this problem. Sa Krame, okay, Krame and then the side streets near EDSA, etong mga kaling to ay napakahalaga para ma-decongestion EDSA. When we operated there, yung mga naka-illegal park are owned by police officers. High-end pa nga eh. Marami pang high-end doon. So, gusto po namin sanang ipakiusap po. Ang sabi po kasi sa amin, boss, kaya kami dito, dahil nilimitahan daw ang parking sa loob ng Krame. Pero ako, ang tingin ko, ayaw makita ng mga bossing nila yung gaganda ng sasakyan nila. No, yun ang isang reason. Magaganda eh. I have pictures. So, ang akin pong sanang pakiusap, Sir, General Sir, boss, masabihan itong mga to. Dahil hindi po kaya ng kapitan eh. Ako nga, nagpunta nga po tayo doon, so nagulat ako na puro pag-aari nga ng polis. Sana po ano po natin, if we could have this remedied, that the police officers, either they take public transportation or they park their cars inside PNP. Yun lang po.
Mr. Chair,
Senator Bato.
relax ka lang. Malapit nang matapos.
Senator, ang hirap
Oh.
paalisin.
Hindi, sa loob ng krame, ngayon, may ongoing na construction na dalawang
Parking.
multi-level parking building. 4 na level yon. Basta dalawang yun, along EDSA, at saka yung isa, doon sa may firing range. Pag matapos yan, siguro pwede mo na
Pero Senator, ika nga, band-aid solution, may nakita ko po ako doon ng mga 3 bakanting lupa. Yung 2 doon ginagamit na parking space, pay parking. Meron din isa doon. And then, I told them to reserve 1 lane there, yun hindi naman nadadaanan, na mag 1 side parking. Sana doon na lang po sila para hindi po lahat doon sa kada kalye meron. So, sana po, yun nga po, General, ano po natin yun, para po maayos po yun.
Mr. Chair, yung mga government offices na sinasabi nyo, susunod lahat yan. I-impose nyo lang.
Opo.
Yung ayaw sumunod, isulat nyo sa akin.
Salamat po. So, gagawin po namin yan at sasabihin ko po kay Mayor Joy na kung kailangan hatakin lahat yan, hatakin po namin. But again, I think, Senator, in aid of legislation, talagang siguro government offices, lalo na po yung mga rented ones, like for instance, LTFRB NCR office, they rented out a property along Timog Avenue. No? Wala talagang parking doon. And ang LTFRB, puro sasakyan yan. So, ano nangyayari? Bumabara. So, siguro in aid of legislation, sir, na maano po natin yung parking spaces of government offices. Thank you po.
At saka, sir, huwag kang magulat kung magaganda yung sasakyan ng pulis ngayon. Dahil times 2 na yung sweldo nila. Kaya nila bumili ng SUV.
Biro lang po yan. Pero may maganda rin po kasi sa loob eh. Hindi ko na lang po nabanggit.
To add something?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, Your Honors, the PNP, particularly SRPO, is very supportive and committed to help all concerned agencies. Now that we are witnessing the political will coming from all the agencies on this particular program, we will be and we can be more effective in this implementation. Alam na po natin na, well, in the different cities and municipalities, tandem ang ating local government executive and the chief of police. But alam din natin, we should accept and we should agree, all agree, na the city mayor or the LGE prevails on this one. Sinasabi ko po yan kasi, well, sa experience natin, kung merong mga illegal activities like itong mga illegal vendors na nangyayari, kung ang isang mayor po natin gustong mangyari yung mga yan, walang magagawa yung chief of police natin. Somehow, he can influence the chief of police na sumunod na lang doon dahil for merong consideration. And the worst that could happen is that mapatanggal niya yan. However, the other way around, itong mga, kung ang mayor niyan ay ayaw yung mga yan, and the chief of police gusto, hindi po mangyayari yun. The mayor will always prevail. Kaya po, we are committed on this at nagpapasalamat tayo sa political will na na-experience na nating lahat. With regard to the precinct commanders, station commanders, while it is true that in our LGUs, like for example, the barangay chairman, kailangan pang imbestigahan bago tanggalin. Sa amin po, tanggal muna. We can always relieve them before ang investigation. And just like our commitment sa ating po mga city mayors, during last Monday's meeting with the SILG, just tell the chief of police or tell us kung ano po yung mga gustong or recommendation ating mga city mayors. And we can always do that as long as reasonable. Kasi before, pinatatanggal yung pulis natin dahil ayaw makisama sa mga mayors. Pero sa ngayon, nakikita naman natin na kung ito is for this program, we will always support this. In fact, during 3 days after the SONA, when separately MMDA and the ALG called for
separate meetings on this, and the instruction of PSILG is on this clearing operation to start sa amin po manggaling. That is why sa atin po sa PNP, a day after the issuance of the memorandum circular as per instruction of this SALG, we demolished one of our PCP, and so far we have demolished 2. Right now we have identified 29 other PCPs, 23 police community precincts, and 6 compacts or community assistance police centers. 3 of them are... Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, actually, 3 of them are encroaching public roads, 22 are sitting on sidewalks, and 4 are on center islands. Well, our advice to the police stations, to the chiefs of police and station commanders is to coordinate with their LGUs, barangay, para ma-relocate. We cannot just demolish them because we cannot sacrifice and compromise the peace and order in the area. So kaya lang po nailipat natin yung dalawa dahil may nag-bulletin na paglilipatan. Kung pwedeng tanggalin yon na hindi maapektuhan ang peace and order, wala pong problema. Hopefully within the 60-day period, mahanapan namin ng relocation itong mga to. But the pronouncement of the President is to reclaim all public roads that are being used for private ends, even though these are not being used for private ends, but just the same, once and for all obstruction at dapat po mayayos natin to. So we are committing the whole force of NCRPO, and I have given instruction to our station commanders na even at night time, magdagdag ng police so that we can help the barangay tanods and other concerned agencies in enforcing this law. Dahil yun nga pong hide and seek na ginagawa natin, we should provide the muscle to our LGUs in order to be successful in this campaign. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. May karapatan ng pulis magkaroon ng magarang kasasakyan. So, okay lang yon. Pero mabalik sa dating usapin, eto nga, tulad ng sinabi ni Mr. Soriano ng Parañaque at ni Mr. Kim po kanina, abala lang ako dun sa sinasabi sa estero. In our enthusiasm to find more land and greater space, the desire to cover esteros may be a dangerous one. Pag-aralan po natin ng maigi dahil nais ko lang sabihin kay Chairman Lim at pati na rin kay George dyan sa MMDA na siguro yung urban planning na sinasabi ni Mr. Kim po is very, very important at this point. I remember that when my mother started with the MMDA at the time, hirap na hirap po sila dahil yung mga estero kinuberan nga. Dahil nga, at that time, very unscrupulous developers determined that more land would add to their income and profit. And as a result, naging flood-prone ng Manila, alam naman natin, in certain sections, nasa 12 feet lower than sea level. Napakababa ng ibang section ng Manila, ng Metro Manila. So, sana pag-aralan natin, kasi hindi naman putul-putul yung mga waterways na yan. We can't just plan for Manila or Parañaque or only QC. Sana pangkalahatan yan na pagpaplano. Kasi yun nga, so much time and effort was spent ripping out covered up esteros, even for very essential transportation facilities. Siguro ang leksyon dyan yung Incheon na Korea, which spent $900 million for Cheonggyecheon, the canal that was covered up by roads, bridges, railways, and so on, and had to be ripped open in order to help the city breathe and flow again. So, wag tayo mapunta dyan. Wala naman tayong $900 million burning a hole in our pockets. So, let's do it properly from the start. So that even if we're very keen to have more space, more parking areas, more vending areas, isipin natin yung daloy ng tubig talagang hindi mahihinto.
Because before we adjourn, one last point from Mr. Soriano of Parañaque.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I just like to point out here that the open channel I'm referring to a while ago in Parañaque is a man-made creek. That is not a natural open channel because that's a byproduct of our reclamation in that area along Macapagal, along Asiana, and that is a man-made. But nonetheless, in our view and in our point, that is a big consideration for us to declog our city, both Parañaque and Pasay, because as I have said, that is an open one, that is an open channel, a man-made creek. It has nothing to do with free, that's correct. As a matter of fact, as I have said, if you visit that area, there is only one PVC there. That's about 36 centimeter in diameter. So it serves no purpose actually. Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Senator Tanaros is recognized.
before I move for the adjournment of this hearing, just would like to make sure kay Mr. Fernando Soriano na sana yung estero sa sabi nyo na hindi naman waterway, walang dumadaan ng tubig. Sana hindi yan kasama sa political campaign ha, na kung kayo walang tulay, gagawan ko kayo ng tulay. Kung kayo walang ilog, gagawan ko kayo ng ilog. Ha? Yun lang. Having said that, meron pa? Sige.
Just one quick response, Mr. Chair. As you have said, that is not part of any political campaign. If you recall, Senator Bato, we have submitted as early as November of last year. And therefore, this is way beyond the election consideration. Thank you.
Wala,
Your Honor.
pinapatawa lang kita.
Piñas and who else? Para from Pasig.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Just added information. In Las Piñas, the issue of opening of subdivision roads we have been doing that for quite a while through an ordinance. Considering that we only have one main thoroughfare, the Alabang Sapote Road, we have to ask the homeowners association comprising 300 homeowners association to interconnect. And in consideration, we are going to maintain the roads, the peace and order, and the granting of stickers. There is no payment. It's free, only for the Las Piñas residents.
So what you're saying, sir, is this. Before we implement this, there should be consultations with the homeowners. They should be aware of the rights under the Magna Carta for homeowners, and the local government unit must be prepared. Thank you.
Precisely, sir. Thank
From
you.
Pasig?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee. Ito po yung main reason, sir, na kung bakit namin nilift yung odd and even scheme sa ating Pasig po. Kasi nakikita po namin na ang main solution po talaga sa trapiko sa Pasig ay ang pag-clear po ng mga daan at lansangan po natin. Kaya po binibigay po namin yung buong suporta namin dito sa memorandum circular po ng DILG. At gusto lang po namin din i-raise din po kung paano po yung correlation po to ng police power po ng ating state na mabibigay po dun sa pag-implement po ng clearing operations at kailangan pa po ba ng ordinansa kasi pagkakaalam ko po ay hindi na po kailangan ng ordinansa para po i-exercise ang police power ng ating state. Yun po ata yung nangyari po sa Makati, dun po sa Jupiter Street na sinabi po ng Supreme Court, hindi na po natin kailangan ng ordinansa para lang po ipa-open ang mga private po nating mga roads para sa public.
Meron na tayong national law eh.
Opo.
In effect na to, pero yung sinasabi kanina, yung clearing, just be guided with the circular coming from the DILG, which was issued in pursuance of Section 16 of the Local Government Code. So, yun siguro. At siguro coordinated kayo kay General Lim kasi paglabas nung Pasig, papunta na ng C5, tatawid ng Guadalupe, Makati na yon.
Opo.
So, dapat isa lang yung traffic scheme doon. Yes, Chairman Lim.
Yes, Your Honors. Alam naman natin na yung front line dyan sa paglilinis ng mga illegally parked vehicles, mga obstructions sa mga lansangan, sa mga sidewalks, nasa barangay units, supported by yung police natin na nandoon. At dati-dati kasi, madalas nating marinig, nilinisan ng MMDA, nilinisan ng LGU, after some time, bumabalik na naman, paulit-ulit na lang. Dati, kinakasuhan natin itong mga barangay captains na ito sa ombudsman. Pero parang napakatagal ng proseso, parang hindi nila nararamdaman yung kaso. In fact, may isang barangay captain dyan sa Quezon City na 7 na yung kaso niya sa ombudsman, pero baliwala sa PMA sana, no amount, sabi natin, Senator Bato. So napakaganda nitong ginawa ng ating Secretary of Local Government, nagpalabas siya ng ganitong MC para ang bottom line is dapat agad-agad na maramdaman nila. Yung sanction ay dapat agad-agad. Nang sa ganon may epekto. Yung binanggit ni Senator Amy about the esteros na pwedeng gamitin natin yung ibabaw para sa mga parking. Ang bottom line dyan, dapat may provisions para regularly may matanggal yung mga yung nilalagay sa ibabaw diyan para regular din yung paglinis ng mga esteros. Magmula nung magumpisa tayo sa ginagawa natin ito, for the past week, tayo ay nakipagtulungan sa mga mayors natin. Last Tuesday, kasama natin yung Pasay and Parañaque mayors sa Baclaran. Thursday sa Pateros and Pasig. Kahapon si Mayor Oka sa Caloocan, and in the afternoon si Mayor Francis Zamora. So napakaganda, ang tingin ko lahat gumagalaw. Yung inumpisahan ni Mayor Isko talagang nahawa lahat at talagang gumagalaw, nagtutulungan. Si Mayor Francis, for example, kahapon nagpalabas siya ng EO na bawal natin yung pay parking along inumpisahan natin itong kampanya sa mga mabuhay lanes para ma-decongest para mabawasan yung dumadaan sa EDSA. At sabi ko nga, 1 linggo pa lang yata tayo dito. Ang dami nang nangyari. Kung ipagpapatuloy natin ito, walang dahilan para hindi natin makamtan yung utos ng presidente na i-clear lahat itong mga and natutuwa ako na makita lahat nagtumutulong, PNP, CHPG, local government units, MMDA, nandyan silang lahat. So I have all the confidence in the world na maganda itong magiging resulta ng ginagawa natin ito. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Before Senator Bato moves to adjourn, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of one Mayor from Cavite sa Silang, Mayor Poblete is here. You're recognized. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng dumalo ngayon. First meeting ng Committee on Local Government. Very productive with the presence of the Vice Chair, Senator Amy Marcos, with the presence of Senator De La Rosa. Lahat po siguro maliwanag na yung ating ginagawa. Other item?
Sir, Sir, may concern kasi yung mga mayors nung huli naming Metro Manila Council meeting, sa relocation naman, sir. Yung mayor nasa Estero, re-relocate natin at siya sa housing, no? Sabi nila, ang nagiging problema madalas, pag dinala nila, for example, sa Cavite, madalas Cavite ang host city, hindi rin maasikaso ng mga LGUs, no, ng mga mayors, no? Kasi nga, number one, hindi niya naman botante yan, yung ira nila, hindi kasya. Kumbaga, hindi pa sapat at nadagdagan pa yung population nila, no? Of course, some Metro Manila cities, sinasubsidize pa yan yung paglipat, yung maintenance. Ang sabi nila, baka pwede, sir, pag nilipat yan sa housing, nilipat natin in anywhere, kasama na ang COMELEC, no? Kumbaga, paglipat dyan, registered voter na sila doon sa host city, para at least, no, yung population ng host city na madagdagan, yung ira nila, madadagdagan. Kasi sir, madami rin pangyayari na relocate na yan. Pag election, sinusundo ng bus yan para bumoto, di ba? So, sabi nila, suggestion nga, siguro for 6 months, isubsidize mismo nung pinanggalingan na city, for 6 months, para after that, sir, na-relocate na, botante na sila doon, pati yung era ng local government na host, tataas kasi dadami yung population niya. Thank you, sir.
Very timely yung creation ng new Department of ano ulit? Human Settlements and Housing. Kami rin 3 members dun eh. Ako rin ang chairman ng housing. Ang nangyayari ngayon, and the practice has been, bago mag-transfer, merong MOU from Las Piñas, ililipat sa Naik, Cavite. Yung host LGU, alam yung gagawin niya, yung nagtatransfer na LGU, Las Piñas, merong konting subsidy. Magkaroon ng eskwelahan, magkaroon ng street lights, pero kadalasan yung mga paglilipat, hindi talaga maiwasan na bumalik pagboboto. Lalong-lalo na pag yung mahigpitan yung barangay elections. So, isa siguro sa mga tatrabahuhin ng DSUD, ng bagong housing department, nakikinig ang COMELEC, kung papaano, hindi mo may iwasan na merong kang ties na bonds doon sa pinag-alisan mo. Nandun yung mga kumari mo, kumpare mo, kandidatong kapitan, kung nilipat ka, nakikialam pa rin yun. Pag nilipat ka sa 13 Martires, Cavite, sa Naik, wala ka namang kakilala doon. Di ba? So, I think the new department will have to craft new guidelines. Pero yung cultural affinity, kahit anong isabatas mo yon, babalik ka doon. Doon nag-aral yung mga anak mo. Doon bininyagan, doon ka nagkaroon ng mga kumare. Nandun. So, hindi ka although tanggap ka sa Cavite, hindi ganun kadali yun, sir. Pero I think through proper guidelines, yung MOU kung paano patutupad, baka ma-address yun. So last matter from Secretary Anyo before we... parang ayaw nyo mag-iwahiwalay tayo.
Gusto ko lang po i-take advantage kasi napapag-usapan natin yung ISF forever na lang tayo nagsusolve ng ISF. 2010, 30,000 lang yung ISF sa Metro Manila. Nagkaroon na tayo ng National Technical Working Group or ISF. Pagdating ng 2018, naging 200,000 na sila So lalo silang dumadami. Baka kailangan i-revisit natin yung 7279, RA 7279, yung Urban Development and Housing Act that professionalizes squatting. That is sa PD 772, criminal act yan So wala talagang andaling tanggalin ng squatter. So maybe we should revisit that para totally ma-prevent na natin squatting and we can, through CLUP, mabigyan talaga ng yes. Thank you.
Housing Department, nasa batas ba yon? Yung binanggit ni Secretary Anyo? Was that amended or modified?
Yes, the provision in the UDA is the decriminalizing squatting, which before under an old PD was a criminal act. It was not mentioned in the department, the new law creating. Yes.
Dalat, kanina pa ako nagpapasalamat sa inyo.
Daming last
Tikman niyo muna yung sinerve sa inyong almusal tanghalian. Medyo masarap yan. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng dumalo. MMDA, General Lim, Secretary Anyo, General Yazar, at lahat na nandito, all the mayors, representatives. We adjourn this meeting and we'll see you again. Maraming salamat.